The College Football Experience Dantabase Top 25 Week 6 edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Yes, play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. So do that, folks. And remember, as always, to let it ride.
This is Brock Purdy from Iowa State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes! 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 Woo! Welcome! Welcome to the College Football Experience Dantabase Top 25 edition. And other college football stuff, because we will take it to the land down under after this for our hypothetical college football ranting, raving, and bullshit. That's what we always do. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hit that like that bullshit. Like that bullshit. I want that on my gravestone when I die. Look, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Dantabase Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
Oh, boy, we got games Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Don't forget, tomorrow our weekday preview episode. We'll cover the weekday games with deep analysis. There's a lot of them, too, and there's some obscure ones, too, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Some opportunities to make money. Also, must announce that our reaction shows, if you've been tuning in Saturday night waiting for our reaction shows in the coming years, in the previous years, we're very, very grateful. But we've decided to move our slate till Sunday morning. I feel like the numbers might be a little bit better, and also, well,
the bourbon.
We might be 30 cocktails deep. You know, it might make a little more sense to do it on Sunday when we're only 7 cocktails deep. Yeah, moving forward, the college football reaction show will be Sunday mornings. We're going to pigeonhole time, probably 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, so we can get done. And some of you filthy animals can go watch that filthy NFL if you like. If not, go, check out whatever the fuck else you like. What I do traditionally is I watch as much FCS as I can on Saturday, but then on Sunday, I really go deep and I throw the 9 TVs on FCS. I'm learning about this, that, because I'm a maniac, and it's good to be a maniac. And speaking of maniacs, I am joined by this maniac. He is the host of the College Basketball Experience. We just dropped our ACC and Big East previews. There's other conferences out there as well. I'll be at ACC Media Days tomorrow. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. What's up, man?
What's up? Yes, I think the Pitt fans, I think James Franklin, and I think Nico all agree Sunday at 11 is the way to go.
Oh, see, the chat's already missing these. Shout out to Leaky808. He says, finally catching a live show. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. I think I'm no longer on the West Coast. When I was on the West Coast, it was a lot easier to do. I fell asleep watching Duke Cal because, well, they're in the same conference, and that's what should be the viewing experience when they play each other. Moving forward, that should be a sleepy game. Then I came out of it. You got to do the show. You're not as amped. When I was on the West Coast, you could just fire away. Still somewhat night.
10 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think it makes more sense for the show's quality to do it on, because I'm always looking out for the customer, Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if they just want a drunk reaction, maybe I'll just go live on Instagram or something. That's what these kids do nowadays. So yeah, maybe you're looking live.
Yeah, you're looking live Sunday morning. Shout out to Bill Russo. I listen while I'm at work. Fuck this job. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I hate to be the snitch. I don't know what type of job you're working, Bill, but I appreciate the comment and appreciate you listening. And I agree. Fuck this job. Not the one I do, but the one you do probably. Depends what line of work you're doing. When you're young, what was the best job you ever had? Like when you were like high school years or like early
newspaper boy.
I was a newspaper boy too. Washington Post, man. What were you?
That treat you had to. I was New York Journal. Washington Post was on there too. There was a Chinese company too. It was a little bit of everything. But yeah, that dude. Anybody that does the paper route, that shit'll teach you how to work, man. That shit's hard.
I did it for years, man. I did it for years. For the Washington Post shit. I had a lot of family involved, so. But I did a bunch. But I mean, I think my favorite job though, when I think about it, I spent a summer. Where you ever seen those go-karts that go super fast?
Yes.
I forget what they're called, like Speed. This company called I forget what. Anyway, I had a friend that was like, "Dude, you should come work here." I was like 16, 17 years old, and he smoked a ton of marijuana. And he's just like, "Dude, you should come work here. It's chill. I'm the fucking boss." And I was like, "Okay, sign me up. Let's go." So I spent a summer. As a guy, I look like a referee, but I would sit there and let people drive really fast. And I'll be honest, I think I was one of the coolest when it came to collisions on a go-kart track. I was just like, yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, and we were definitely not sober at any point in this whole summer. It was a very fun time, and that was another thing, is if it was like a rainy day and no one else was coming, you could drive that shit all day. And that's where I like to think there's an alternate universe where I'm the next goddamn Dale Earnhardt Jr. All right, or whoever, Andretti. All right, had a damn good time doing that stuff. K1. I think it was called K1. If not, it was their rivals. I think it was called K1 though. I think it was early days of K1. And it's great. I got fired.
This is going well.
I got fired for I had a house party the night before, and I stayed up a little too late. Had too good of a time, and then I had the dilemma of, do I have to clean this house before my mom and dad arrive, or do I go to work and have them arrive into this? And I made a great decision, I believe, still to this day, because my dad would have whooped my ass. He still kind of did, but it came out later, and he had time to simmer down, I feel like, because I got out of Dodge. I cleaned that shit, and I got out of Dodge, so they didn't find out right away. So
you delayed
the ass. He was super pissed, but you stay away for a day or two and come down. Let them come down. That's an old school way to do things right there. But I lost my job. I don't know if it was as calculated as I sell it on this show. I think it might have just been like, oh shit, I'm supposed to work in 30 minutes. I was like, but I got to clean this. Okay. I wouldn't have made it there in 30 minutes anyway. But that was a fun job though. It was a fun job. Don't think I ever got my last paycheck, by the way.
It's usually how it always works.
K1, I think you owe me about $50, but let's call it even, because I would
Yeah.
You know, I might have not always been the greatest employee. So nothing like a good shitty job back in the day.
Oh yeah, teaches you character. I think my paper company owes me my last fucking check.
That's the way it normally works.
Yeah, they keep that shit pocket.
And sometimes you don't want to go back and get it because it's like
Yeah.
it's like a pride thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I quit Blockbuster Video. This bitch named Gladys was such a bitch to me. Right? I was working back in the day. Blockbuster used to get packed on like a Friday or Saturday, especially if it rained. Right? And we had a bunch of people call out. And it was just me and the general manager. And she was like a short-term general manager. So I didn't really know her from nothing. Some of the other ones that I'd done battle with, I would have been like, okay, I'll do it. But Gladys, she was a true fucking cunt in my opinion. And she's like giving me shit. Like I need to work faster and faster. It's like this line's around the corner. And my friends came through and I was like, you know what? I had enough of this bitch. I think everyone should experience this at one point in their life where you just completely, you pull the half-baked, fuck you, I'm out. I did that shit. I was like, watch this. I was like, I'm done. We had a line around the corner. I wanted to watch the Knicks and Pacers were playing in the
90s.
Yeah, in the Eastern Conference Finals, it was like game 4 or 5. I wanted to watch that, and my friends come through and they were like, "Dude, what do you?" I was like, "I'm so sick of this bitch. She's been name calling me. I'm the only fucking employee here, right?" And I was like, and she does it one more time, and then like as I was telling my friends this, she did it, and I was like, you know what? Stick around, guys. I took my shirt off. I took my name tag. I threw it at her. I was like, "Fuck you, fuck this place," and I'm out of here. And it felt so great. It felt so great, and I never went back for my paycheck, even though I wanted to. I'll be honest. A couple days later, I was telling this to my mom, and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "But you quit your job, so you don't have any money." And I was like, "Well, I have money. I just can't get to it. Can't get to it right now." But it was a fun experience. I think I recommend that for everyone at their job. So, Bill Russo, if that happens, you get the opportunity to do that. It feels very good for a couple days. Maybe you get something lined up behind it, but if not, it's a great feeling. And honestly, 20 years later, I feel great about this.
Look at this comment.
My boss pissed me off one time 6 years ago, so I stuck it in. I thought there's mud tunnel. It's Eric. Please, if you can, DM me on Twitter at DColbyD. You have just won yourself a college basketball or football experience T-shirt. You let us know. It's Eric. DM me at DColbyD, and we will get you a brand new T-shirt. That one. That's
a great comment.
You checkmate, sir. You just took a shit on my whole story. All right.
Stick it to the daughter.
No, I didn't know if Gladys had kids, but let me tell you, Gladys was a true bitch to me. So,
This show's off to a good start.
Yeah. Shout out to the world. Hope you guys are all doing good. Guys, gals, whoever. All right. Except Gladys. I'm still kind of hoping she's having a miserable day. All right. But, let it go, Dundee. Let it go. All right, Gladys. I hope you're doing good. Sort of. But anyway, look, this is the Dantabase Top 25 episode. And, this is one where we just, I think the AP Top 25 is a complete joke. I think the playoff rankings have been a complete joke. I think everything, really, for a long time. Claimed national championships. Everyone makes fun of UCF when they are doing exactly what like 50 other schools have done in their existence. Some that get the name brand shit because they're saying, hey, you come to Alabama, we won 18 national championships. Come to Texas, whoever. There's a bunch of phony national championships. So, I mean, I think it's fun to, have a much more logical, I believe it to be more logical, top 25. And, and after that, we got some land down under questions. And, here we go. All right. At number 25, you're looking live at number 25.
The slides at.
Yeah. Here we go.
There we go. You're looking live.
Yeah. Hey, Michael B says, I think your picks is a joke. Hey, but you are watching me, buddy. You are watching me. All
that
right.
guy's always in here trolling. He's such a jack fuck.
I don't really care. I don't know if you know this. I don't really care, but you are watching me. So I appreciate you. All right.
Yeah, kiss our ass.
We get sponsors not on my picks, but on who the fuck watches. But I mean, my picks have been pretty good. I did have a winning week last week, but I don't really care. You can think they're terrible, and I appreciate that, because if they're terrible, then you should flip. You should take the other side to be a millionaire. But Michael B thinks our picks are a joke. Cool. Enjoy. Thank you for the paycheck that you just sent me by watching the fucking show, essentially. Next up, 25. We got Iowa State. It's a far drop. It's a far drop, man. Look, Iowa State, I had them number 4, so they went from 4 to 25. And I think this loss at Cincinnati might not be as bad as we think it is. Well, first off, I have Cincinnati ranked, so I'll let that out. But just the fact that they didn't have so many players.
Yeah.
You got to take that out of the equation right now, but I think long term you should consider that, because I don't know. They didn't they considered it with Florida State with the 4-team playoff, but Iowa State, you look at the resume. Another thing that hurt Iowa State is Kansas State, which I thought was a pretty good win. Kansas State loses to Baylor. So it's hard to justify some of the other wins on that resume. I know Arizona won against Oklahoma State, but that doesn't really extremely move the needle when you beat a team that's that shitty. So that was the logic on Iowa State at number 25. At number 24, I got them Arizona State Sun Devils. Texas State and the Mississippi State game. The Mississippi State lost to Mississippi State on a busted coverage on one of the final plays. But that loss looks worse because Mississippi State took their second L of the season, and obviously Texas State lost to Arkansas State, which was a bad loss. But
they always do that shit.
I know. That's the problem. I know Oklahoma State's thinking about, people are speculating that G.J. Kinney will be one of the top candidates at Oklahoma State. It's like, I don't want to shit on G.J. Kinney because I think he's done wonders with that program. But at the same time, every year they drop a game or two to someone that have no business dropping a game. You know what? It's like Jason Candle at Toledo.
Yeah. Yep.
So, at number 24, I got the Arizona State Sun Devils, and as much as Texas State and Mississippi State got worse, TCU and Baylor, which they both have wins, those wins got better. So that was the logic there. I know they had a bye week. A lot of these teams from 20 to 25 I have they had bye weeks. So the only thing that got better was their schedules potentially. So Arizona State at 24 was the logic there. At number 23, I got Roll Tide, Alabama. There might be some drama in a minute. But if I'm doing this without, so it's really hard. Once you get to this point in the season, you're going to have to ignore some head-to-heads, and there'll be some drama in a minute, but I still think it'll work out, and then you'll be able to pay attention to the head-to-head once they match the same amount of games. So at 23, I have Alabama, and Alabama's a tricky one because they have looked really good, but at the same time, they also got blown the fuck out in Tallahassee. That game, they kind of got dominated by a team, which, by the way, lost this week. So that moves to 2 losses to Florida State. So that looks worse. But not only that, the Vanderbilt win looks very good. But some of the other wins do not. Wisconsin is terrible. ULM just got destroyed by Northwestern. So the Georgia win, the problem with Georgia is they don't have an amazing resume. They have the Tennessee win, but Marshall and Austin Peay in Kentucky, it's not there yet. So it will get there as Georgia gets better, or whatever, or the teams that they play a better schedule. There's no ULM Wisconsin coming up. There's Missouri. So that's why I have Alabama at 23. Once again, I believe this works itself out. The further you go into the season, the more data you collect. But right now, it was hard because I essentially, to let you know, I have one-loss teams from 16 to 25, and I'm probably 1 week away from having a couple one-loss teams ranked higher than undefeated teams. I don't think they deserve it yet based on the short data that we have. But Alabama's an interesting one because they are 1-1 on the road, right? 1-1 on the road, and then their home games are kind of short of Vandy, kind of been dog shit. So it's I find it a little trickier than some of the other ones. At number 22, I got the Houston Cougars. They've been on the road more, or they have a better record on the road, and they're one loss. So here's the logic on why I have Houston. I tend to think Alabama's schedule is harder than Houston's, but we can't say that yet until we get more data, but I believe it is, right? But I'm taking my belief out of this. You're supposed to just look at right now. And to me, the loss to Texas Tech is a lot better than a loss to Florida State. So that is what's keeping Houston up there, essentially, and they're 2-0 on the road. But also the fact that the Texas Tech win is very credible because I have Texas Tech pretty damn high in this ranking. So that is the reason why Houston would be above Bama. I don't think it would sustain itself. I think even after next week, Bama would be ahead of Houston. At number 21, I got the Wahoos of Virginia. They're an interesting one because as one-loss teams, you can make an argument that they probably deserve to be the highest, or if not, one of the highest one-loss teams because they, well, I don't know. I guess it depends.
Louisville on the road.
Well, and the NC State game, they were up 90% of that game, and they lost on the final play of the game in the end zone. So it's a little different. I do think that shit should matter. Like when Alabama gets destroyed by Florida State, you know what I mean? Like I know they have a common opponent, but even if you remove the common opponent thing, if you get just completely walloped and lose on the final play of the game, at a game you were up majority of the game, they should be paying attention to that shit, to me, in the AP or the college football playoffs. Virginia was up majority of that game and had it fall apart and then threw a dumb pass at the 3-yard line, into the end zone that got picked off or whatever. So I think Virginia deserves to be ahead of Alabama personally, without question, thus far into the season. At number 20, I got the Cincinnati Bearcats. And part of the logic here, and this is what makes it even more complicated, is when you're honoring road wins and road losses. They have a neutral site loss.
That was a road game.
That basically was a road game.
Yeah. So
how do you define that? If you stick to your criteria of a neutral site game, then, which I did, I stuck to it as that. But I also thought the way they have a road win at Kansas, that and part of this thing is Kansas. So Cincinnati, some of these teams got a lot better on their resume, like Nebraska. So they lost in a one-score game, very close game to Nebraska. Nebraska has only one loss on the season, right? So that's a credible loss to me. It's better than like the Florida State loss right now, just from a record standpoint, even though I don't know who I would take in that game. But then you look at, okay, the win at Kansas looks better because Kansas won, right? And Iowa State, who I have ranked, and Iowa State was undefeated. I think they have a better resume based off of that than the teams above them. And you can make a case for maybe Virginia, but I think some of the dead weight is like, I think Bowling Green's a lot better than Coastal Carolina. So that's kind of the logic there with having the Cats at number 20. What, dude?
A lot of Big 12 teams in this 20 to 25.
Well, they play enough decent competition, but I'm just off topic here. Could they go to the Big 12 championship?
Yeah, their schedule's nice. We talked about that in the preseason, though. We like the schedule because pulling it up right now.
I think they got OK State. What is it?
They got Oklahoma State. When do they have OK State? Next week.
2
So
weeks.
they got UCF at home. Then they're at Oklahoma State. That should be 4-0. And then you get the big boys. You got Baylor at Utah. You get Arizona and BYU coming to you at home. You don't have to go to Provo. And then you end at TCU. So, yeah, I think they could finish this thing with only 2 losses in the Big 12 potentially.
Do you think this is actually bad for Cincinnati fans?
Yeah, because of Satterfield.
It's that like it kind of reminds me. There's been some coaches over the years where you're just like, they've been able to buy a year or two by having a good season, and you're almost like, God damn it, if we just fired him then and went out and got our guy, but they look good. I don't know how you handle that. I guess if you're just a fan of the school, you say, hey, let's win now. We'll worry about tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think you always win now. I mean, they could be another Satterfield dud next year away, and they could just pull the trigger next year.
Yeah. At number 19, I got the LSU Tigers. I have my concerns about LSU.
Yeah.
Dude, if LSU played Cincinnati right now, who would you take?
If Nussmeyer's as banged up as everybody's making it out to be, probably Cincinnati.
I think that's an interesting. Like, LSU's offense looks so bad lately.
Yeah.
And I thought LSU was going to look a lot better this year. But look, this is why LSU. So the Clemson win got better, right? The Clemson win got better, and I think that Florida win also got better. So that's the logic on them. They weren't even ranked last week, and we got them jumping up. So shout out to LSU, even though you didn't even play a game, but your resume got better, and that's the logic here. Shout out to Caleb Carter. Giving us $10. You've been killing it with content recently. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Free show, awesome analytics, best takes and predictions. Well, you know, I appreciate you, brother. But it is funny how you can do this. You can follow our picks correctly and win. When what the hell was the other clown?
Michael B.
Yeah, Michael B. Can't figure it out. But LSU at number 19, and I think, you know, they're a kind of a fascinating team moving forward, just because I tend to think if that offense is not worked out, now they had the bye week, maybe you could work that thing out, but I don't know. I kind of see this team, if the offense stays on that level, I kind of see this as an 8-4, 7-5 type of team. I know the schedule kind of broke nice for them, but man, that offense just been dull the past couple of weeks.
For Brian Kelly's sake, they better go better than 8-4.
Well, the schedule breaks nice, but I think also I'll take Vanderbilt beating them. They got to go to Vandy. I'll take Vandy all day against LSU right now. Yeah.
Yep.
At number 18, I have the South Florida Bulls. So the logic here on South Florida is strictly just the fact that the Florida win got a lot better. Also, Miami, the team they lost to, it got better. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
Yes, Boise did get worse, but there should be little data on losing at Notre Dame when you're Boise State. So I don't think that really affects that so much. So South Florida at number 18 is my play there. At number 17, speaking of those doors. Wait a second, Dundee. You're going against your own thing here. We have a head-to-head. Alabama just beat Vanderbilt. Yeah, and it will work itself out once Alabama wins the second road game. But the reality is Vanderbilt has played 3 road games against Power 5 competition so far. Not a lot of schools have done that. They're 2-1. So I do think you ignore the head-to-head at this very second. But once Alabama gets to the same level as that, I think that's where you would say, wait a second here. We've done just the same amount of road games. We played them. Head-to-head should fucking matter more. But right now, I would say Vanderbilt deserves it based on the fact they've been on the road 3 times. First off, not a lot of teams have played 3 road games.
Missouri.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Missouri hasn't even played 1.
Missouri still got 2 weeks till they hit the road.
Miami's played 1. I mean, look, there's a bunch of teams that it's hard. That's why I think you should pay attention to this. Is like the hardest thing to do is win on the road, and Vanderbilt has been on the road 3 times against Power 5 competition.
Yeah, they're battle tested.
That's the logic on them at number 17.
And they looked good on Saturday. I know they lost the game, but they looked the part. They held their own in the trenches against Alabama.
Yeah. I completely agree. If anything, I thought the first half, Vanderbilt looked like the better football team. Now, it was a back-breaking final drive there right before the half that I'm sure Clark Lee is vomiting on still because they had their chances. If Diego doesn't turn the ball over 2 times in the red zone, it's a tie game, probably 20-20 in the fourth quarter. So at number 17, I got them doors. At number 16, and look, so this, I went chalk pretty much here. Some might not like it, some may. I basically, you have 15 undefeated teams. I went with the top 15 teams undefeated just because we're barely into the fucking season still. It's October 6th, right? So I thought long and hard about putting Utah at number 15 and my number 15 team at number 16 based on them having just a dog shit resume. But then I said, it'll get there. Right now, you barely have enough data to really collect all this stuff. But the logic here on them being the top 1-loss team is they have 3 road wins. Now, some of those got better, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the UCLA win at the Rose Bowl all of a sudden looked a little bit more respectable once UCLA stuck it to Penn State. But the Wyoming one obviously got worse, and the West Virginia one got worse. But I just think you have 3 road games. Not a lot of teams in the country have 3 road games in general, and they're 3-0. Albeit bad competition, we'll find out at the end of the year. Probably likely that all 3 are going to be shitty. Sorry. I know
3
you're a Dundee fan.
Yeah. No offense taken. And 3 road wins in 3 different time zones too. I mean, they've been traveling like crazy. So yeah, the Utes are good.
And let's talk about their 1 loss. Their 1 loss is to a team that's undefeated that I have in my top 5. So it's like that score is a little deceiving too. If you watch that game, that shit was a little closer than that final score. Shout out to Sean Holywar in 2 weeks. Yeah. It's a criminally underrated rivalry. At number 15, the team that I said has a phony ass schedule is Navy.
Yeah.
Look, I would love to see Navy in the college football playoffs. I think Drew Cronick in that offense with Horvath is super entertaining. But you go under the hood a little bit with Navy, and you're like, wait a second.
They haven't played anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think Air Force is better than their record, but the record's their record. It's not. I try to remove what you think this. And the fact their other wins were UAB, Tulsa, and Rice. And guess what? All of them lost this weekend. Some of them badly. So this is the logic on like, man, Utah will pass Navy. It just, especially if the Utah wins this week. I won't just have them undefeated, but I just think four games in for most teams. I think, I guess you could argue this, and I would be okay with this because it's, where do you draw the line on like, hey, they've been undefeated, but they're played fucking nobody. You know what I mean? Or
Cupcake City.
Yeah, it's a trick. It's like, well, at some point you need enough data to analyze how the team's been. And I think for whatever reason, I used to do the Dantabase Top 25. I wouldn't start it until October, the first week in October. So like this would be my first episode. On those episodes, I would always keep the undefeated teams at the top until mid-October. That was kind of just the formula that I came up with. You know, like I said, this is all we're all just doing talk bullshit here. So, yeah, Navy at number 15. At number 14, shout out to Team Bass Pack giving us $5. Hey, fuck Michael B. But anyway, does Trent Bray deserve to get fired after going 0-6 this year? Love the show, boys.
That schedule's been brutal.
We talked about this on the preview. That was a super ridiculous schedule. I'm going to pull it up right now. But one of the things that I find, first off, the schedule was harder than we even thought when we previewed it.
Yeah. Cal's better. Fresno's better.
Houston's better.
Texas Tech's better.
What is the combined record right now? Cal is what, 4-2, but they have like three? They've beaten like 3 Power 5s, I think. Right? Fresno is 5-1.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is 5-0. Oregon's 5-0. Houston is 4-1. And App State sitting there at 3-2. Good Lord. And the travel, too. I mean,
Sarkisian said earlier yesterday, a lot of teams, if they went to Ohio State and Florida, they would take losses too. I'd like to see Texas if they played this schedule that Oregon State's played.
Dude, Texas would be like 2-4 right now.
Yeah.
3-3 or something.
And probably 3-3 at best.
Yeah. Dude, he's one of their own too. Yeah. I think you got to give him another year. But he should be on the hot seat next year.
Now they could win out though. They could win.
The back end of the schedule's nice, but hey, man, Wake's playing good ball.
Yeah.
So even that game's harder than what we thought.
I know.
Thought that was like, hey, it's a win. Like you got to favor Wake pretty solidly there.
What if they won their last 6? How hilarious would that be?
Well, we thought there was a world of that when we previewed them. I was like, man, this is a crazy schedule. It's actually one of the crazier schedules I've ever seen in my life, just as far as it. They were dealt a shitty hand, and I think this should be another reason why you don't fire them. You are picking games all around the fucking country, right? It's almost like an independent schedule, but a little bit worse because you had to do it on the fly. Like some of the independent schedules you can kind of put together in advance. You know at least you kind of know where things are going. This Oregon State and Washington State really had to jump around, like take whatever they could get. And that's part of the reason why, and I didn't even think it was going to be this hard when we previewed them, but they got their toughest opponents in a row to start the season. The remaining schedule, folks, by the way, home to Wake Forest, home to Lafayette, bye week, home to Washington State, home to Sam Houston, at Tulsa, random, bye week, and then at Washington State. They play Washington State twice, but there's a shot. They could win all of those games remaining. I mean, Wake's got to go to the other side of the country. And it's kind of a sleepy game for them. So, hope that answers your question. Appreciate the $5. At number 14, I got the North Texas Mean Green. They had the bye week, but they got a huge game this week. But when you look at North Texas's schedule, the Army and Western Michigan wins got better. Sure, the South Alabama got worse. But I believe their road wins are the reason why they're here, essentially. At number 13, I have the Memphis Tigers.
All the AAC teams.
Yeah. Memphis, they beat Arkansas. They have a Power 5 win. Part of the reason why Sam Pittman's fired. Also, Troy and Florida Atlantic won. So their resume got a little bit better throughout the week, even with them Memphis did play, and they covered the spread too against Tulsa.
They cover against everybody.
I lost on that. And then at number 12, I have UNLV, which
I hate them.
I mean, at some point, we know that the schedule's dog shit, but at the same time, their resume took a major boost because Miami, Ohio, and UCLA won. Look, I know they've gone on the road. They're 3-0 on the road.
They have 3 road wins. And they've won everywhere. I mean, they've won in different time zones. I
mean, I don't know if you guys caught the game. They had 3 block punts and probably should have had a 4th.
2 for touchdowns.
I mean, it was incredible. Just incredible that they're our true nemesis because we bet against them every week. They play Air Force this week. I'm going to bet against them again, Mac. And Dan Mullen's got they're a good phony 12, but I think it'll work itself out. But yeah, fraudulent top 25. But yeah, it says leaky. Yeah, no, but that's the thing is like you should never come in saying these are the 25 best teams in the country. Because that's what's dumb about the AP Top 25 and like seeing certain teams still ranked. Like I looked at the AP and they had
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame's 3-2. I'm gonna pull it up real quick just because I want to make sure I know what the fuck I'm talking about here.
They finally dropped Texas and Penn State. It took a month of not beating a Power 4 team to say, you know what, maybe we should finally drop them both.
I mean, Notre Dame is 3-2 and ahead of BYU 5-0, Memphis 6-0, Virginia 5-1, Vandy 5-1. They don't even have the right 3-2 there because what's Notre Dame's 3 wins right now?
Purdue, Boise, and who else?
They have a group of 5 team in there somewhere.
Arkansas.
Okay, Arkansas, Purdue, Boise. In what world are these wins better than who's Virginia have? Florida State, Louisville. Right there. It's already finished.
Yeah.
Florida State, Louisville, Stanford. And Stanford's on Notre Dame's fucking schedule, by the way. Right? Yeah. So it's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, it's insulting. And I think Notre Dame will probably end up good, but let them play their way into it. Don't just reward them for nothing. You know what I mean? Don't just reward for nothing. Like, I don't know. Anyway, UNLV at number 12.
They'll never lose. They'll never lose a game again.
I mean, this has been the biggest pain in the ass team over the past couple of years. At number 11, I have the Oklahoma Sooners. They played Kent State and destroyed them. I think, and Michigan did win to help their resume, but at the same time, Auburn didn't play. Trying to think who else there. Illinois State's an FCS. Kent State's fucking terrible. So yeah, it didn't really move the needle, the Kent State win. So that's kind of why I think they went up, but not drastically. What happened here? There we go. At number 10, the BYU Cougars. So basically, the reason why BYU deserves to be ahead of Oklahoma, in my opinion, is Oklahoma's played one fucking road game, and that was at Temple, which actually got better. But BYU's actually gone on the road more than once. Also, Oklahoma's kind of played 2 FCS schools with Kent State and Illinois State. BYU's only played 1 in Portland State. So that was the logic there on having BYU ranked ahead of Oklahoma. We will get to the rest of the top 10 in a second here, but I want to let you know that the College Football Experience Dantabase Top 25 is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football, and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none, and their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag, and when you do use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market, and Novig's, with Novig, you're getting the best prices because they're an exchange. And look, they're available in 35 different states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. So get in on that action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, at number 9, we got the Missouri Tigers. 0 road wins. By default, they keep jumping up the fucking thing, man. And to be honest with you, the Kansas win looks better after Kansas goes down to the UCF. Although UMass did lose to Western Michigan, so it got a little worse there. Look, I tend to think they're a phony team too. But guess what? They host Alabama. They don't hit the road.
Not till the 18th.
another 11 days. That's crazy. And then after the 18th, do they get a back-to-back away right then?
I don't think so. I think their second road game is like the first weekend in November.
I mean, think about this for a second, folks. The season ends in November. The regular season.
They do actually. They're at Vandy. Oh, they're gonna get fucked up by Vandy.
Wait, hold on. So it goes at Auburn, then bye week and at Vandy, or straight?
No, back to back.
Okay, that's a little more respectable.
I
think it was, who was it? Was it A&M or Texas? There was a team in the past, like in the last season, that played their second road game.
November 1. I remember that.
It was ridiculous.
Like, what?
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Mizzou at number 9. At number 8, I got the Texas A&M Aggies. The Notre Dame win continues to look better as Notre Dame improves. Utah State didn't play. UTSA got worse because UTSA lost to Temple.
Yeah.
On a Dundee special. But the Aggies they beat Mississippi State and Auburn. So the resume is pretty solid there. Still looking for that second road win though, and that'll be a big difference maker. At number 7, we got the Buckeyes of Ohio State. The problem here, yes, the Washington win got better. Problem here is I don't even know what to honor the Texas game because Texas, much like Penn State, if you're looking at this resume-wise, you say, what does that Texas win mean? They have beaten nobody. The San Jose State is the best win on Texas's resume. So if Texas starts winning games, like Ohio State's resume could easily be number 1 because Washington, we think is, Washington's only got 1 loss to them. And Minnesota's kind of a mess. They lost at Cal. So it's hard and Grambling is terrible. So it's hard to really give the resume a lot of besides the Washington win. Like, what do you think of Ohio State?
I think they're really good defensively. I think they're still work in progress offensively. They looked better last week though, but that was against Minnesota, who's not very good.
But is it concerning that Washington was shut out for 3 quarters?
Yeah, and then
my point is that we know Texas's offense is trash.
Yeah.
We know Grambling should never be on Ohio State's schedule. We know Ohio, that's another thing, is Ohio just lost to Ball State.
Yeah.
So Ohio State has a win against Ohio, who we thought would win the MAC, but week 1 of the MAC, or week 2 of the MAC, they lose to Ball State, that projected the worst team in the MAC. And then you have Washington, who we think is the best offense they faced. But they just got shut out for 3 quarters against Maryland.
I don't know how they won that game.
They pulled that shit out their ass.
Yeah.
And then Minnesota's offense is trash. Now, look, it's Ohio State. We all know they're fucking really good, but I'm trying to remove the hypothetical out here. But I'm just saying, what is the best the Washington is still the best offense they faced. And there's been moments where I've said, is Washington even that good? And I have someone that has Washington to make the playoffs. I took a future on them to make the playoffs. They don't.
Ohio State got next, Illinois, and then Wisconsin. So they got back-to-back road spots here. So
yeah.
And then Penn State, and we'll see what Penn State looks like by then.
Yeah. At number 6. I got the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, how could you have Indiana above Ohio State? Well, I would say Illinois looks better than Washington, or at least on the same level. But then when you add in Old Dominion, who's on fire in the group of 5, and then the Iowa one, I think the resume is a lot better actually right now, despite the non-con being a joke and Ohio State having Texas in the non-con. As of right now, I think Indiana's schedule has been a lot harder than Ohio State's. So I got the Hoosiers at number 6. Would you agree that you think Indiana's resume is harder than Ohio State's thus far?
Yeah, they won a Kinnick. I mean, we've seen how hard it is to win there.
And then the way they beat Illinois.
Yeah, they beat them by 50, and then the ODU won. I mean, ODU might be a G5 potential playoff team.
Yeah, and even Kennesaw doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
All right, at number 5, I got the Ducks. They went from 1 to 5. They didn't even play Dundee. What do you mean? How do you drop 5 spots? Well, here's how you drop 5 spots.
Penn State.
Hey, that win at Penn State looks like shit because Penn State, who's their best win? FIU, who just got bodied by UConn?
Yeah.
Also, Oklahoma State's fucking terrible. Also, Oregon State's fucking terrible. All their wins are terrible. Northwestern got a little bit better because they beat ULM by 30. It honestly, I think this is the way you should rank, right?
It's Northwestern their best win.
It's their best win based on paper. Not hypothetically, okay, we would all take Penn State to beat Northwestern. But you would have also taken Penn State to beat UCLA by 25 fucking points. And that is not what reality, that's not what really happened. So, I think you should drop 5 spots despite not playing a game and having 2 road wins. So yeah, I got the Ducks at number 5. At number 4, I got the Ole Miss Rebels. Wait a second, Dundee. They didn't play either.
Hotty toddy.
But the resume, the resume actually took a hit. That's why they dropped 1 spot. But Kentucky and Georgia State took L's. And Georgia State actually kind of was an impressive L, but it's still an L at the end of the day. So I got Ole Miss at number 4. LSU didn't play, so that win didn't get better. And that's the logic there. At number 3, I have Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, who now they've added a little meat on the bone by winning. They have 2 road wins. They have 3 Power 5 wins, albeit, I don't know how good Houston really is, but right now Houston only has 1 loss, and you have to honor that right now as a good win based on the data that we have. Also, Utah only has 1 loss, so they have 2 wins against 1-loss teams, and both were on the road. That is why they deserve to be here, in my opinion. So, and also, if we're going to give credit for Oklahoma beating Kent State slightly, then we should give the same amount of credit for Texas Tech beating Kent State slightly. It wasn't slightly, but they were both blowouts. But you get my point. You barely get a little bit there. Red Raiders at number 3. And at number 2, I have the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. I know the refs helped them out in the Wake Forest game, but I can't look at it like that. You have to look at this, to a certain extent. Who knows what would have happened had that been called offsides? You don't know. Maybe Tech still wins that game, right? You don't know that because there was enough time on the clock where that could have played itself out. They have 2 road wins. They also that Clemson win looks a lot better as well, as Clemson actually seems to have a little bit of a pulse. Wake Forest, also the team they beat, went to Virginia Tech and won. So that is why the Jackets improved their resume from a week ago. And then at number 1, wait! Abner. Where the fuck is that guy Abner? The Canes, what did I tell you I would do? And they only have 1 road win, right? And I try to honor road wins the most, but the reality is Miami's home schedule is pretty fucking good. When you look at South Florida, when you look at the fact Notre Dame keeps winning, when you look at really all their stuff, I think you have to have the Canes number 1 right now, or at least in the top 4. You can make a case that Texas Tech playing 2 road games is better against 1-loss teams than what the Canes have done. But the Canes have played better teams at home. Texas Tech played some really bad competition at home. So I think Miami deserves to be number 1. It's obviously all subjective. So, but how do you feel about the Canes being number 1?
I had the Canes 1. I had Texas Tech at 2, just because of the 2 big-time road wins. But I just think Miami, with the way that they've dominated teams too, and then really solidified. Florida State backdoored that thing to get it to a 6-point game. I mean, it was 28-3 to start the 4th quarter. They've been, I think, from an eye test standpoint, Miami's been the best team in college football so far.
Agreed. Would like to see more road games, but one's better than some of the teams out there. But yeah, they look nasty so far, and also the schedule has meat on the bone, even though majority of those were at home. So Miami, number 1 in the nation. Dantabase top 25 style. All right, folks, we're going to get to the land down under in a second here, but I want to let the good folks know that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog's a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter. Simply pick higher or lower in your favorite player stats. It's available on a ton of different sports, too, like MLB going on right now. I play CFL sometimes. Look, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers, too. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. So do that. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it in college football and NFL with picks and props. They went 8-2 on their passing prop overs in week 5, and 5-0 on Dylan Gabriel debut prop. So absolutely killing it there. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. So use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. All right, we are back, and are you ready for the magical?
Oh yeah,
most important questions that I think really you'll ever be asked in life. You know what I mean? They should make a fucking Liam Neeson movie about this.
hit the music.
Yes, we are going to the land down under. This is the land down under, yeah. We ask dumbass questions in college football, yeah. Like, listen to bullshit. Like and listen to bullshit in the land down under. All right, that's my karaokeing for the night. Look, land down under. Which one of these three would be most likely to you? James Franklin will make it through the season at Penn State. Virginia will play in the ACC championship, or Cincinnati will win 9 games. I know you might have to get to the Cincinnati schedule there. But I want your thoughts on this. This is the tough one. I'm just coming out the gate swinging.
I think it's Virginia.
Virginia to make the ACC championship. Of course, now they have the tiebreaker on Florida State after Florida State loses. But so Cincinnati right now is what? 4-1.
4-1.
UCF at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Probably going to be 6-1, right?
Yeah. I the only thing is, do we get a Satterfield game?
Then they have a homecoming for Baylor coming to town.
Yeah.
I mean, winnable. Then they're at Utah. That's a loss, right?
Yeah, that's a loss.
Then a bye week, and then they're home to Arizona. These little desert boys coming to Cincinnati on November 15th.
The Natty.
And then BYU, and then that's BYU at home, and then at TCU.
Yeah.
So BYU in Nippert is what I'm referring to. Dude, 9 is on the table.
It is. I mean, I think that they're definitely going to lose those 2 road games at TCU and then at Utah. I think they'll drop one more. I think Cincinnati goes 8-4.
So now let me get to the Penn State side of this here. You say Virginia making the ACC championship game is more likely than Franklin getting fired, because let me ask you something here.
Wait. Is it Franklin makes it through the year? Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the most likely. I don't think he's getting fired till the end of the year.
Okay. That's now I'm even more confused, because I look, wait a second. So you're telling me if they beat Northwestern this weekend, which they should, then they're at Iowa, followed by at Ohio State and home to Indiana. There's 3 games where they have potential of losing all 3. If they are sitting there at 1-5 against Power 5 competition, you're telling me he's not going to get fired?
I think he'll get fired at the end of the year.
Okay.
I think he's done enough in his time there to at least get the whole year.
I think he might get fired. I disagree, because I think once they get eliminated from play, like if they lose to Iowa and Ohio State, then they have 4 losses. They're pretty much done. They're not making the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Then
you could take a flyer on Kotelnicki before you get rid of the whole staff. Kotelnicki is a hot name out there. Was before this season.
I was going to say, I don't know how hot he is anymore. I mean, he's working for a guy that's going to get fired. Yeah, I think Penn State will rally. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. They have too much talent on this roster.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually mind-boggling.
It's mind-blowing that they're in this scenario right now. I'll say Franklin makes it through the year, and then Virginia in the ACC title game, because Virginia only has 5 games left, and they'll be favored in 4 out of the 5.
Well, and the NC State loss was a non-con game.
Yep.
So they are already 2-0 in conference with wins, or 3-0 in conference with Stanford, Florida State, and Louisville. They have a bye week this week, then they have a non-con game against Washington State. Poor Washington State and Oregon State.
And what are these?
When they schedule that, they're like, we're probably going to get a 3-win Virginia team. Now they're going to get a top 15 Virginia team. Then at North Carolina, then at Cal, then home to Wake, then at Duke, then a bye week, and then home to the Hokies. That's a nice schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice schedule. All right, so you say Franklin, then Virginia. Next up, on the land down under. Which Week 4 upset is more likely? Indiana to go all the way to Eugene, Autzen Stadium, beat Oregon. The Pussy Pack to go into South Bend and take down Notre Dame. Shane Beamer and South Carolina going into Baton Rouge and taking down LSU. Or your Pitt Panthers going into Tallahassee and taking down Florida State, a.k.a. Saudi Arabia State.
I mean, that Indiana number keeps coming down. That thing's at a touchdown now. I will go. It might be Pitt, to be honest, because I don't know how good Florida State is.
I think it's Pitt too, dude.
Yeah,
that was my answer because I think Pitt. I know it's a freshman's first road start, which I tend to love to fade, but you got to think it was kind of a crusher scenario for Florida State because it's highly unlikely now, with Georgia Tech undefeated in conference, Virginia undefeated in conference, Miami undefeated in conference. None of those 3 teams play each other.
Yep.
And you still have to play, Florida State's still got a couple tests. I got to go at Clemson, which seems to have a little bit of a pulse again. So I'm with you, Gary K. I think Pitt over Florida State is one that would be the one I would answer with. Shout out to Blanton in the chat. Colby, any chance you're going to the Deeper Than Hate rivalry, Georgia Southern App State, Thursday, November 6th? Me and NC Nick talked about this, so potentially, as long as that guy's not still trick-or-treating or coaching goddamn soccer.
He's always doing something.
Yeah, with his girls, he's got daughters, so it's just – but I actually think we did when we were at the TCU UNC game, we talked about going to this, so – I would say definitely a chance. Are you up there still in Boone, brother? If so, let's get up. I'll buy you a beer. All right, next up on the land down under, where the facts are told. Most overrated coach, James Franklin, Steve Sarkisian, Mike Norvell, Lincoln Riley. Rank the 4.
Easy. Sarkisian's by far 1 because everybody shits on Franklin. So I don't even know if Franklin's overrated anymore. Because everybody's just getting their jabs at Franklin. So I'll go Sarkisian, Lincoln Riley, because they're just soft as shit. They never win anything with the Pulse. And then I'll go Franklin, then Norvell. I think everybody shits on those 2 already enough.
Yeah. Sark, he's the greatest play caller sports ever seen.
Yeah. Did you see that stat I shared today? He's 2-8 in the last couple of years against top 10.
That's against backup quarterbacks. Like his 2 wins are fucking against backup quarterbacks. But no, I think one of them was Alabama. One of his wins, I think, was against backup quarterback. I've been saying this forever. That's why you subscribe to the College Football Experience. Shout out to what's that?
2-8 in his versus top 10 teams in Texas. And he's 5-18 against top 10 teams all time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this. Washington has, won a national championship in my life, played in others, right? If not, got a share of one or should have gotten a share of one. So, basically 3 times in my life. USC is USC. You know what I mean? They've had the most players drafted in NFL history. They're USC. They've won, 2? I know one they didn't, or one did they give or didn't give. I consider it 2 national championships in the Pete Carroll era. And then Texas, obviously, is Texas. They have a great history. And to be at those 3 schools and to not have better wins is fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
But
Smart.
yeah. GBO Farms, longtime friend of the program. How do you have Alabama lower than Vandy when they beat Vandy and Georgia? Because Georgia's resume is dog shit right now. Georgia's only got Tennessee. Vandy has 2 road wins. Alabama's 1-1 on the road. I have a head-to-head would matter more once Alabama catches up to the same amount of road games as Vanderbilt.
If they beat Missouri and Columbia, they jump them.
Yeah, they would jump them. And that's the logic there. Georgia needs more meat on the bone. Georgia's resume is absolute dog shit besides Tennessee.
Their resume is going to suck all year because they don't play anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
their game's at home.
Who do they have this week?
I'm
trying to remember who they have this week. They on bye this week? They might be on bye.
No, they're at Auburn. This is
I think that, and I think they could lose that.
They definitely could lose
Yeah.
that. That's one of their 3 road games this year.
Yeah, oldest rivalry in the Deep South there. All right, next up, we got best team in the SEC. There you go, GBO Farms. Perfect time for you. Alabama, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, or other, Mac?
Alabama. Yeah, we just talked about it. I think Alabama found their identity after that Florida State loss where they got hit in the mouth.
You know who I think would fuck up Alabama, though?
A&M.
I do.
Yeah.
Because their offensive line is awesome, and they can run the ball really well. Now, I don't know if that means A&M's the best team, but I think that's a very terrible matchup for Alabama.
Might be the SEC title game.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I'm pulling for Ole Miss, man. Let's go, Lane Train.
Yeah. Next up on the hardcore facts, Dantabase top 25 and land down under bullshit questions. Most likely to win the AAC. The AAC. Tulane, North Texas, Navy, Memphis. I want the order too here.
So they are all 5-1 or less right now. God, ask me after Friday.
What, like right now, if you had to power rank the 4 teams that you believe are the best, not strength of schedule, not like Denver's top 25, like if you believe are the best 4 teams in this,
I would probably say
fucking tough, right?
I know they're all pretty damn even. Navy, I think, is 4th. I think Navy just hasn't proven it, even though I like Navy too, and I picked Navy. North Texas 1, Memphis 2, Tulane 3, Navy 4. But it ain't.
Yeah, it's razor thin. Because look, I did this, and I had
South Florida.
I had Tulane 1. Memphis 2, Navy 3, North Texas 4, but I'm like, God, just because, you know what? I can't get the Western Michigan game out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Where I thought they should have lost that game, probably, North Texas. But I can also make a case that, because Navy, like, always gives Memphis problems, I feel like.
Yeah.
I came away with Tulane being the team I'm most confident in, and they're the team with the biggest blowout loss.
Red Slab. Yeah. I guess it's at Ole Miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have thrown South Florida on here too.
I wanted to too, but I just you only have 4 options, so I thought South Florida might be too obvious as the correct answer. I wanted you to think a little bit.
Yeah.
Have all these bastards in the chat think a little bit.
Brainstorm.
All right. See what we're doing here?
Yeah.
All right.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. Nothing. We've deleted brain cells, and I'm just trying to have you think about those deleted brain cells. Next up, most likely to make to play in the Mountain West Championship game, UNLV.
Oh God.
San Jose State, Fresno State, San Diego State. The reason why I think this is intriguing is San Jose State has the easiest schedule. They're 1-0 in conference despite struggling, right? Fresno's a fucking wagon right now.
I know.
5-1. San Diego State's 4-1. Undefeated in conference, might I add. And UNLV is undefeated. I mean, UNLV coming up. So they're home to Air Force this week, but then they're at Boise, home to New Mexico. Then at CSU, home to Utah State, home to Hawaii, at Nevada. I kind of think that I kind of think that path is tough, but knowing me and UNLV, they'll go undefeated. San Diego State has on deck at Nevada, at Fresno, home to Wyoming, then at Hawaii and home to Boise and San Jose. That's a pretty tough schedule too. I kind of think one of the answers is Fresno or San Jose. Am I crazy?
I think you're right. I was going to go San Jose because that schedule is unbelievable. Then Fresno, then UNLV, San Diego State.
Yeah, it's a very good. And you could also throw Utah State into this mix.
Yeah,
I just knew that you were high on Broncos, so I was like, I'm not gonna make this bastard think some.
Oh yeah,
right?
Utah State's winning it all, baby.
How about Hawaii? They're a little bit under the radar.
Yeah, everybody just keeps beating up on Air Force.
Yeah. All right, next up on these important questions. Most likely Big 12 championship game. Give me rank these four. The most likely championship game. Texas Tech versus Arizona State, Utah versus TCU, Texas Tech versus Utah, BYU versus Iowa State.
Fucking Big 12 kind of feels like it might go chalk this year. I'll go Texas Tech, Utah, because Utah gets Arizona State in Salt Lake rather than in Tempe. Then Texas Tech, Arizona State. Then BYU, Iowa State, and then Utah, TCU. I don't think TCU is good enough to get there.
They look like shit against Colorado, but
and they somehow covered.
Yeah,
I don't know how they covered.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, actually.
Yeah. Maybe Texas Tech, I mean, that would be pretty big collapse if they didn't make it.
Maybe that was too easy of a question. Next time I got to get it better. All right. Next up, we got week 4. No, this is week 6. I think I forget to do that every time. Well, no, it's week 7, isn't it? 7.
It's week 7.
God damn it! I don't know what's going on. Week 4 game. Anyway, that's from working at the go-kart track. I was inhaling all those fumes, if you know what I mean. All right, and trust me, we huff paint plenty of times outside in the parking lot. South Florida at North Texas, Southern Miss at Georgia Southern, ECU at Tulane, or the rivalry game here. The fucking legendary rivalry, the I-75 rivalry. Which one? And give me the order here.
The AAC games are up top for me. South Florida, North Texas, the Friday night games won.
Wait a second here, because Southern Miss, Georgia Southern is gigantic for our future.
It is. It is, but I mean, these two AAC games are huge. Like, these are G5 playoff games. South Florida at North Texas, then your Pirates at Tulane. ECU still is undefeated in conference play. Then Southern Miss, Georgia Southern, and then the rivalry. Even though I love that,
shitting on the Maction, they got you're putting fourth place a team that's got a rocket set to the midfield of the Bowling Green.
Yeah,
they have it exactly set. How would I say that?
Those other games are huge though for the conference.
That's true. I think you're right. And I almost had a hard time saying Southern Miss because the Georgia Southern Miss game is so huge for my future.
Yeah,
I think that even as an ECU fan, I'm like, whoa, that Southern Miss Georgia Southern game is kind of fucking gigantic.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think you're right. Actually. Next up, we got this week 4. I mean, week 7 game you want to see most. Ohio State at the Illini, Indiana at Oregon, Red River Shootout, or Alabama at Missouri.
Red River won, always won. Then Indiana at Oregon. I'm interested to see with Signetti if he can get those guys to compete with Lanning and company out there. Then Bama at Missouri, even though Missouri never plays a road game, and then Illinois, Ohio State 4th. Big Ten's always last for me.
Except Indiana, Oregon.
I guess that's it. I guess I forgot that's a Big Ten game.
Which week 4, not 4-7, upset is more likely? Northwestern at Penn State. Tell me, would that be the funniest?
Oh my God! Well, he would be fired mid-season if he loses a fucking Northwestern. What's that line?
So it's got to be in the
21.5. Wow.
They got it. No way.
I'll lay it.
No way. Washington State at Ole Miss. Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech. Yeah. Arkansas. Road Rash Face. What about Road Rash Face? Is that the most likely?
I think so. Yeah. I would say the unknown of Petrino off a bye week, nothing to lose. Here you go. Road Rash Face.
I think,
man. Tennessee's a little they're all right.
Virginia Tech could beat Georgia Tech too. If Georgia Tech, Brent Key's got a history of kind of losing to a team exactly like Virginia Tech. Maybe that was too easy of a question. All right, which week 7? not 4. Week 7 upset is most likely here. Air Force at UNLV, Old Dominion at Marshall. So Marshall being the 14-point dogs, I think it is, or 16-point dogs. Navy at Temple or New Mexico winning on the Smurf turf.
That last one is not happening. I kind of think it's Temple at home with Keeler, man. Even though they're banged up, and I mean, Air Force is 1-4. This is how even the odds maker know UNLV's a fucking phony. They're only laying 6 points to Air Force.
Yeah.
They're undefeated in their.
I do worry about Air Force's safeties against fucking Dan Mullen, though.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Navy Temple is.
Yeah.
Could ODU lose in Huntington?
Oh yeah. I don't think it's going to happen, but they could. Weird things happen in those mountains.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got. All right. Which team will have the most wins at the end of the season? A, North Carolina. B, Northwestern. C, Wisconsin. And 4, Oklahoma State. This is the hardest question I'm giving you tonight, in my opinion.
I think it's Northwestern.
What do they have right now?
They already got 3, don't they?
What? No, they lost to Tulane, right? One of their non-con games. No, they beat UCLA. You're right. Western Illinois.
Yeah.
And ULM. But are they going to win a game the rest of the season? Because Chapel Bill's already got 2, right?
Is he going to win another game?
I mean, their schedule's certainly nicer.
Yeah. It's not Oklahoma State. That team is not winning another game. I mean, they are awful.
Wisconsin's record's what right now?
2 and.
So they just need 1 game.
Yeah, but they might win one more.
They don't play Northwestern, unfortunately.
They play all those big teams.
Yeah.
It's Northwestern or North Carolina. Carolina. Belichick pulls a couple out of his ass over. I mean, Carolina's schedule's a fucking joke.
Wait, what? How many wins does Oklahoma State have right now? 1?
1. They're just not gonna win another game. It's hilarious. Fuck them. Carolina's at Cal. They got Virginia. At Syracuse, backup quarterback. Stanford at home. At Wake. Duke at home. At NC State.
It is. I think Northwestern or North Carolina is the. Does Northwestern have any more winnable games? I guess you could say Penn State's winnable after seeing them last week. But they have Purdue at home in 2 weeks.
They could get that one. That would get them to what, 4?
And they have Minnesota at Wrigley. That's another thing going against them is the fucking Wrigley games. They have like a whole month at Wrigley. I think you're right.
I think it's Carolina.
Yeah, I think you're right. Carolina.
They'll pull. Bill will pull out a couple.
So 1 would be Carolina, 2 Northwestern, 3 Wisconsin, 4 Oklahoma State for you?
Yeah. It's right in order.
Interesting. I don't know about the Oklahoma State-Wisconsin thing.
I don't think Oklahoma State only has 1.
Wisconsin could lose out. Oklahoma State just needs 1 then to get to that level.
They don't even have a team.
When's Hulse Henne returning?
Never. He's in the portal probably.
Shout out to Carlton in the chat. It says, Colby and Mac, I'm curious about your thoughts on Auburn moving their Baylor game to Atlanta due to NIL and not at Jordan-Hare. Yeah, I think it's fucking terrible. I kind of saw the writing on the wall for this. I love college football so much. I'm such a fucking nerd with it that I was actually looking at schedules like back in June for next year and July for next year. And I was like, what are the week 1 slates really? So you have the SEC moving to 9 games, 9 conference games. So they canceled. Like Miami and South Carolina were supposed to open the season. That canceled, I think, today or yesterday. And I think that was going to be my first pick for what game they were going to play at that filthy. You know, they always do that filthy game at that trash ass stadium. And
how do they get more NIL for this? How's this working?
Well, I don't know. Chick-fil-A probably, or what the fuck? Mercedes-Benz probably gives them some shit. I don't know. I didn't dive into it, but I thought if Miami, South Carolina is not the option, then it would be Auburn, Baylor. Because they never do a conference game. The week 1 slate next year is kind of shitty. If you look at it, it's pretty shitty right now. We could have some big matchups that are conference games that they haven't let us know yet. But as far as non-con, because the SEC canceled a bunch of their shit, the Big Ten canceled a bunch of their shit. You saw Indiana do this.
Yeah.
The ACC traditionally will play a lot of group of fives that are tricky. They canceled a bunch. Like NC State was supposed to play App State. I think at App State they canceled, right? So you're kind of having like, unless the conferences schedule a great games upon those very conferences, then you might have a very, very weak week 1. So it's terrible for the sport. College football should always be played, and college, anything college. We say the same for college basketball. There's a shit ton of tournaments now in college hoops, like preseason tournament or like, you know, regular season tournaments around the holidays. It's too many.
Yeah.
It's too many. All right. I think we've lost a little bit of what the fuck on campus is the greatest selling point. Here's what I've never understood the TV exec side of this, because you should realize, it tells me that they're just full of shit, that they don't know their own product, because they should realize that their own product, that if they're going to put Rutgers and UCLA in the same conference or and all this and have all this crazy shit happen to the sport, you would think that they would know that, you know what? And maybe the TV numbers just don't matter and they're going to watch regardless. But you would think the product you're producing looks better on campus at Jordan Hare at the fucking Eagle going around, you know, than you would at the Chick-fil-A thing. You would think that would make sense. I don't know.
But they don't think like that.
Yeah. You would just think like I'm producing this thing.
Yeah.
And it looks like shit at some of these neutral site games. I mean, you saw the neutral site conference championships weren't even packed last year, right? Because you're asking too much of your fan base. Now that you have teams in all the different side of the goddamn country in the same conference, you're asking too much out of your fans.
Yeah.
So anyway, good question though. Next up, which group of 5 teams most likely to make the CFP here? Memphis, Old Dominion, North Texas, UNLV. Rank the 4.
I think it's ODU, man. I think it's ODU 1.
Because Indiana's going to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
That loss won't be frowned upon.
It won't be frowned upon.
They got to win in Harrisonburg. That game, the Royal Rivalry. They got to win at JMU. That's going to be a very sneaky game.
And I just think the AAC is going to beat up on each other. So I'll probably go North Texas 2, Memphis 3. Get that last team off the screen.
Yeah. I'm with Cannabis Capper here. If you're going to do neutral sites in cities, it's like the Red River Shootout works. Georgia, Florida works. All right, at least have it as something that like especially with college basketball, like the Philly 5 or whatever. The
Philly 5. Yeah.
It makes sense. All right. If you do that, then I understand it. Your fans will show up. They'll talk shit to one another. It works. In football, though, it's kind of hard, especially with these new conferences. To me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Next up, how about this? Which team do you trust least moving forward? Florida State, LSU, Washington, Louisville.
Florida State because of their psyche. We've seen them quit under Norvell.
Yeah.
And Louisville might be too. They're a little. I think they're kind of soft.
They are, but they always get up and beat a good team or two. MO. Like.
Then I'll say Washington just because I don't know how good
I would have Washington at 2, but their schedule's nice though.
Yeah, LSU's the last one, even though we already said they're a little counterfeit as well.
Yeah. Most likely to make the playoffs out of these four: Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, TCU, Penn State.
I think Vandy's won.
I do too.
I think there's a nice path for Vandy to get there. Vandy won, Georgia Tech 2, because they got to win their league probably.
What's more likely, TCU or Penn State?
Penn State.
I think
Too many crazy one-score games in the Big 12.
Yeah. And that's our show, just like that. Fucking 1 hour, 25 minutes of bullshit delivered straight to your fucking ears. All right.
Beautiful.
People, what the hell does Stephen A. Smith make on that? What's his contract, dude? I was just randomly
$30 million.
What the fuck am I missing? God bless him. Oh my God. Just I can argue loud, guys. All right, just for like all hypothetical nonsense.
Hilarious.
Oh no. Yeah, like what? That's proof that the world is amazing.
Unbelievable.
That is fucking proof.
He's such a clown.
The world is amazing. Hey, look, I'm envious.
Yeah.
Right? You want me to sit there and talk bullshit? Then you subscribe to the College Football Experience. We're working on the $40 million contract.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
And shout out to the $20 or $60 we got on this episode. All right, see? What is
Brick by brick.
What the fuck did Neil Armstrong say? One step for mankind. Some shit for that. One step for pick Dundee and one step for selling more bullshit to the world and going through your goddamn brain. I was going to say ears.
Love it.
Folks, that's our show.
And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world.
We'll be back tomorrow night. It might be a little bit later than normal because I'll be driving back from ACC Basketball Media Days. You see that, Flex? I'm going to go tell John Shire to storm the court, get a haircut while you're at it. All right, folks, that's our show. Don't forget Wednesday night pick show, me, CJ, Mac, the college basketball episodes flying off the shelves.
Just did the Big East.
Yeah, Beanick even did a college hockey picks thing last week. Get on over there for all you slap shot motherfuckers. All right?
Slapdicks.
Yes. College Sports Gallery Podcast, college football show tomorrow night as well. Enjoy. Appreciate everyone in the chat. You guys are all great. Till next time. This is the College Football Experience. Bullshit to your ears episode. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Shoot.